Hey, what's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe coming to you live here on this beautiful Thursday. And we are bringing you yet another guest, another, client, student versus another big guru guest where we're going to talk over your head all day and talk about things that, who knows? Some of these podcasts and shows and content out there nowadays, I swear it's just, 1,000 of these gurus sort of all saying the same things. And what we're talking about here on Wake Up Legendary is what it's like to get started, what it's like to do it from scratch, what it's like to do it as a school teacher like our guest, and baseball and golf coach like our guest this morning. So with that being said, Ryan, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome, man. So you're calling in from Georgia?
No, I'm just outside of Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay, my bad. Well, welcome, and looking forward to hearing your story. And I was a baseball player growing up, so I certainly have an appreciation for coaches and baseball specifically. But this isn't about me. This is about you. So tell us how you got involved in this whole online crazy world, and how you found Legendary. What were you looking for? Did you find what you were looking for, less or more? And kind of where are you at today?
Okay. Well, first, let me apologize just a little bit for my voice here. I've been fine all week, and then last night I had a little bit of a cough, so hopefully that won't deter from what we're doing. But yeah, so I've been a teacher for 25 years. I've always taught at the elementary school level. I've always carried a second job. The entire time that I've been teaching, I've pretty much had a second job of some kind.
Wow.
And with when COVID hit, of course, that affected my second job. I had another business where I repaired cell phones and tablets, and I was a mobile tech. So I would meet people. I would go meet them at their house, and I would fix their phone there, or I would meet them at a restaurant, and I would fix it while they were eating dinner. And that type of business. Well, when COVID hit, that pretty much got rid of that completely. Nobody wanted you touching their stuff, and they didn't want to meet you out. And so at that point, that business basically just completely shut down in an instant. And so we had kind of been a little dependent on that second income, to be honest. As kind of our thing that we used for extra stuff and that kind of thing. So I ended up, I started the research process, started looking around. What can I find that will allow me to do something to create an income, but at the same time, not carry hours that are assigned every day after school so that I'm never seeing my kids and my family. And I'm missing everything that they're doing. I'm missing their activities. And so, I looked for 2-3 months probably, and everything I was finding was, you need to be here at these certain hours and here at these certain hours and this type of thing. And that's just not what I was looking for. And I've got some friends that, they go through the whole TikTok thing and find funny videos, and shoot them to you through text. So I ended up getting a TikTok account for that reason, because I could never see what they were sending me.
Yeah.
They were pretty funny. And, one day I was just flipping through, and there was a make money online video, and I saw that and I thought, okay, whatever, scroll on past, and it took me probably about 10 times of seeing that same guy's different videos over and over, in order to actually grabbed me to the point where I said, okay, let's see what this is about. And I did. And the first place that it took me was the sales page, or, the laptop lifestyle page of Legendary's funnel. And from there,
We don't have a laptop lifestyle page, but you mean the sales page for the 15-day challenge?
Yeah, sorry. The sales page. Yeah. For that 15-day challenge page. And that's what
But
took
to
me.
you, it was probably a laptop lifestyle. It
Well,
looked to you like a laptop lifestyle versus what you have been doing your whole life, which is in person and teaching and in classrooms and on baseball fields and stuff like that. So I'm
oh,
sure to
absolutely.
you, it was laptop lifestyle, robe, bed, desk, couch. I'm working from home. I mean, totally different planet.
It completely was. I looked like a kid that stepped off the bus in the candy shop. I was like, "Oh, what is all of this?"
Yeah.
Because I had no idea this type of thing existed previously. It wasn't in the circles that I traveled,
Yeah.
and so I started with the 15-day challenge, and that's kind of how it. After I started watching the videos, um, and on TikTok, I decided, okay, I'm going to do this 15-day challenge. But then I also, I kind of went down a little bit of the rabbit hole of YouTube, just researching what is this all about, trying to find everything that I could find.
Hmm.
And, that can be good, but that can also be frustrating because there's so much that's out there.
Right.
And it's hard when you're brand new to really know what is credible and what isn't when you're looking at that stuff. And here's a person who has zero sales experience. I've never done anything like this ever before. So, I didn't really know what I had when I had it. In terms of, when I started with Legendary and doing the 15-day challenge, I didn't really know anything about Legendary at that point. I just knew that this sounded like something that I might be able to do,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I mean, your brand, you're somebody who's come in who's there's not an example of somebody from more of a different planet, meaning the offline versus online world.
Mhm.
Somebody who and excuse me, but I just want to be blunt here for everybody. Use you, Ryan. I know you got thick skin, and this is the truth. Probably a lot of people your age who would also. I mean, for Christ's sakes, there's people my age. I'm younger than you. I don't know by how much. I think I am. I'm 38. Am I younger than you?
You are. I just turned 49.
Okay. So, I look old for my age and others look young for their age. So I'm starting to not assume people's ages, especially if I let all this gray grow out. I'd be
You did.
38 with a damn near gray beard, I think, but we're not going to find out. I did have a big goatee there. It's like a rainbow. I got red right in here, gray right here, a little black. I see you got the same thing going
We got
on.
the salt and pepper going on here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got to sprinkle in a little cinnamon there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what that is. So, yeah, not a person who could be as far away from this world and these skills as you. I mean, besides the communicating part and the teaching part, I would say that that's a unique advantage. But if you think about the experience that you have as you're listening to this, you have experience that I or Ryan doesn't have. So don't act like Ryan has some crazy advantage because he's been teaching. He doesn't, or I have some unique advantage. People used to look at me and actually said this to me, Ryan. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of crazy. They say, well, I don't have a drug addiction, homeless story like you. And I say, well, thank God you don't, right? I mean, geez, you want to go out and create one? You know? So, I mean, instead of looking at somebody and saying, well, I don't have that, maybe it's better you don't have what they have, and it's better that you have what you do have. But again, back to my original point, you've pulled a rabbit out of your hat. You've done what many say couldn't be done, which is go from offline mostly to online, and now you're having success as an online, basically a freelance digital marketer, where you're doing some affiliate marketing and you're beginning to build your email list. How does that feel, man?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, it truly is great because the freedom that it provides is just not something that you can, you just can't walk out and get that every day. I'm a teacher. Every day is I'm going to school. I've got a classroom. When I coach, it's a rigid schedule, and it's there. And in this particular business, it doesn't matter if my daughter is playing softball, and I can work around that. And in some cases, to be honest, if you absolutely had to, you could do it from your phone while you were waiting for the game to start and you're sitting there during warmups or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't miss the crucial things that are in my life as if I were carrying a 9 to 5 type of second job, another job with hours where I would miss. And so, the freedom that it provides in time, and then the freedom that it can provide financially, there's just no comparison to that. And, I have an end game goal with this business. As a 25-year veteran teacher, I can retire in 2 years at 27 years.
Oh, and receive your teacher retirement? Is that okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
But there's an issue with that for me. I'm 49 and I can retire at 27 years, which makes me 51 when I can do that. But 55 is the magic number to get the full pension.
Mm.
So I take a penalty each year, prior to that I go. However, that penalty won't mean anything if I have this business.
Right.
And to be honest, I'm looking at this business as being my primary source of income anyway.
Yeah.
And that just being a secondary thing on top of it,
Isn't what you just said the opposite of what you said, going the route of saving the 10%, so I mean, I can't tell you how many times growing up and throughout my life I've heard people say, "Well, I stayed until I was 67 or 65 or whatever it is because I wanted to get my full pension." And in your case, what is it? I mean, is it a 10% penalty? Is it a 50% penalty? I mean, roughly, what do you
Uh,
know approximately what it is?
I think it's going to be about 8%.
Now, I thought you were going to say 50, and then I was going to have to
No.
really sell this idea. But even if it was 50, my question is, would you be willing to roll that dice? And I ask you, Ryan, and everybody else listening, if you had been working for 25 years, now that's okay. But here, check this out. It's only 8%. It's not 50.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if you would consider 50, then certainly something like 8% is, a freckle on the pimple of a gnat's ass compared to, it's just a small slice of the pie of the full 100%. Boy, I couldn't back that, and I don't like to make decisions for people. I never do, but man, I couldn't support that decision more, because that 8% versus you going for and spending, that's 5 years, or excuse me,
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years that you would be doing something additional after 25 years of service, or 27, or whatever that would be at that point.
Hmm.
And you're in the prime of your life. I mean, why wouldn't you take those 4 years and build an amazing foundation? I mean, quite frankly, you could be to, in 4 years, you could be to absolutely well surpassing and beyond what your pension is going to be. And that's me saying that, assuming, because I know your pension's not going to be probably 10,000 a month. I would
Right.
assume
No.
your pension's not going to be 6 figures a year, which is about 8,000 a month. Okay, so making $10,000 in this industry a month is not that hard. Now, that's not an income claim. That's not saying it's going to be easy.
Right.
But the way that we teach you how to do it, whether you're doing more of your strategy where you're connecting with people one-on-one in Facebook and kind of selling them via the DMs, or you're using TikTok and doing more of a mass audience, one-to-many marketing strategy, it's not hard to get a couple of high-ticket sales if you're constantly driving traffic throughout the month. And whether you're making 1,000, 2,000, even up to $4,000 or $5,000 per sale, it only takes a couple of sales to get to hit 8,000. Let's just call it a six-figure
Yeah.
income per year. And I don't know about you, but the first time, Ryan, that I ever made a commission the size of a weekly paycheck, um, I was never the same again. It was almost like taking a drug that you were almost instantly addicted to for the rest of your life or something. I just thank God that this hit that I got wasn't something that was going to sabotage my life, but was going to help me to grow my life. What has that been like for you to receive a payment from a transaction when you don't even have to be there in person? And it's the size of a weekly. Now, I'm assuming that you've had that happen, but if
Mhm.
you've had that happen or something close to that happen, tell us what that first experience was like and kind of how that changed your outlook.
Oh, it's incredible because my first big high ticket sale was the same amount that my 2 week paycheck is for teaching. And, you
Two
know,
weeks, two
all of a
weeks.
sudden, yeah, and all of a sudden, here it comes and it hits. And, I was ecstatic. I mean, I was so excited. I was screenshotting, I was texting my wife, I sending it to
Right,
her, I'm sending
right.
it to my friends. I'm like, check this out.
You're
Look
acting
at
like a
this.
child, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, no, like, look at my new toy. Like, it's like, I get it. I totally get it.
It was like Christmas all over again. You wake up and all of a sudden there's a present
Yeah,
and it's a big one,
yeah.
you know.
Um,
It's an incredible feeling. It
And you're
truly is.
ruined a little bit, aren't you? I mean, after 25 years of service in teaching, I mean, dedicating your life to the education of others, being underpaid, likely underappreciated, the most thankless job in the world. However, the best job that a human being can do. I mean, really, to spend time with our kids, it takes a special human being to be a teacher. And here you are at the end of your career. You only have 5 more years to go, and you're going to collect that full pension. I mean, life's not bad for you, Ryan, but
No.
you got a taste. The problem is you got a taste of what it's like to have leverage, and you got hooked.
Oh, absolutely. I got hooked. And that just drove my motivation even more. Once I started bringing in sales like that, it was all about making sure that nothing stopped me from handling those daily activities that you need to do, those things on a daily basis. And, what could I do to learn and um, advance my business even more,
Yeah.
because you never stop learning, and I can say that as a teacher, and people are always like, oh, you're a teacher, you're supposed to say that. But
Right.
it's the truth. I
It
mean,
is.
it really
Right.
truly is.
And now, when you said nothing could stop me from continuing those daily activities, I would assume probably not even your daily job you've had for 20 years, you're not going to let stop you from doing your daily, daily method of operation that you need to do in your business.
That is correct. That's correct. And that's just
Hey,
one of
kids, we're letting you out of class today 10 minutes early. Get the heck out of here. All right. Don't spend all the time in one place.
well, you know what, it's a little different when I work with little kids because I'm in an elementary building. But yeah,
Wow.
you know
What grade or age are the kids that you are teaching?
So I teach science classes and I teach computer skills as a specials class, just like there's PE, art,
Yeah.
music, and then computer lab, and I'm
I took
computer
that.
lab.
I
Yeah,
took computer lab. What grade age?
I have first grade through fifth grade every day.
Whoo, doggy. No wonder you're trying to get out of there.
You ought to try
Holy.
teaching coding to first graders.
Huh?
You ought to try coding with first graders.
Coding. I mean, and all this that's gone on with, I'm not going to say the words because I don't want to get flagged here, but everything over the last couple of years, Ryan, you're ready to get the heck out of there. I get it, dude. I mean,
It's
it's not no love lost for the kids. It's not, I get it. It's time. You're at a point in your life to where every day, month, year matters, and you found a way out. It's as clear as
absolutely.
day.
And you know what? The hardest part for me, just to be honest, because it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, always in this game. And the hardest part for me is knowing I still need to go 2 more years, but yet I really want to just go with this full time, you
Yeah.
know? So you've got to keep that motivation in two different places, and you've got to continue, because
Keep the
I've got to
candle
continue
burning on
to,
both ends. Isn't that what they
yeah,
say? The
yeah, that's
candle's
right.
burning on both ends.
Yeah, you'll find me before school doing daily activities. You'll find me during lunch. No more Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm working while I'm eating
Wow.
lunch. And
With
that's
some
just what I have to
purpose,
do.
right? With some purpose. I mean,
Right.
and it's so much. It's a electrifying jolt to your life, right? Because I mean, I think for a lot of us, we do this, especially coming out of what we've been through the last couple of years. I think a lot of people are also looking for a jolt to their life, not only a boost of money, because they're seeing all these people during the pay. I want to be one of the people who gets richer, not poor. You know what I mean? You're only complaining if you're on the poor side. You're never complaining if you're on the richer side. And I don't care what you say, right? Because if you get rich, and I hope you do, you're going to start to, you're going to start to be a little bit more hands on with your money and care where it goes. Care how much taxes. When you go from getting a check back every year to every quarter you're putting out money,
Mhm.
things
Sure.
matter differently. This is the life of an entrepreneur. But anyways, man, more money, more freedom. These are the things that we're looking for, and this is the things that many of us achieve if we, get the right information from the right people in the right environment and then apply it. And so you came through the challenge, enrolled in the blueprints,
Yep.
started going through the training, tried TikTok a bit, didn't love being on video, gravitated towards our Facebook funnel that we have inside of the blueprint, have been using that to connect and market on Facebook. Is that
Yes.
right?
That's correct. Yeah.
So no TikToking, Instagramming, YouTubing, paid ads, any email drop, solo ads, strictly Facebook organic marketing.
I do still have my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube account from when I first tried it, but I haven't done anything with it outside of that. Then you are correct. It is strictly just the Facebook side and organic, nothing paid.
So as you were going through the training and kind of talk us through how you gravitated towards that and also how you made a decision to commit to that versus staying in that wishy-washy gray zone that so many people I see are in.
You know, the whole creating the videos with TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that, it's not something, it is out of my comfort zone, and it's not something that I can't do. But for me personally, I have always dealt with, I've always been in relationships that have been more personal. I have more personal connections. And that's a huge thing in teaching. Until a child knows that you care about them, they don't care what you have to say.
Mm.
And I truly believe that I am better at connecting with people through something like Facebook and creating those relationships and conversations and things like that over doing the videos.
Mm.
I can talk in front of kids and my players and stuff like that all day long. But when I get a room full of adults, it just makes me a little bit nervous. And this was a situation where I knew that regardless of what I did, I was stepping out of my comfort zone because this is a whole brand new business for me.
Mm.
I'm coming from something that's on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Mm.
And at that point, I thought, you know what? Let's go the Facebook route. Let's see how that turns out when I start talking with people. And I want them to understand that, I'm here to help. I enjoy helping people. Obviously, I've kind of devoted my entire career to doing that anyway. I taught 25 years, 22 of those years, I've coached athletics at the high school level. I've
Mm.
coached collegiate baseball. So developing those relationships was important to me. And
Mm.
I felt like this was the route to go in order to be able to do that. Because the point at which you can get somebody to come back and tell you, thank you for helping me or introducing me or getting me started in this, it makes everything worth it. And it's kind of why I do it to begin with.
Mm,
The money, it'll be there. I truly believe that. I think it will be there, but I enjoy helping people.
mm,
That's just what I love. And there's nothing better than having somebody come back to you and say, I just got my first mission and I wanted to thank you because you're the one that helped me get there.
mm.
There's no better feeling than something like that.
Yeah. And you know that from being a teacher, you know that from being a coach, but you
Right.
don't hear it often from kids, because they just don't know how to articulate it. You don't hear it until later in life if you happen to run into them. But no, it's nice to hear that from adults, from other people who are in your same position. It's also, there's a camaraderie to it versus because we're all sort of peers versus being children and adults. We're all adults. So, it's, there's a, there's a more mature, there's a more, I think, if you try this now, here's what I'm trying to say. If you try this now, those of you who are listening, it will likely be different than if you tried something like this previously in life. And that's because you're in a different place.
Mhm.
The people who you're dealing with, at least in our community, are extremely selfless. Now, they'll try to sell you something.
Sure.
So understand, everybody's everybody's running a business here, and everybody's able, willing, and ready to make money and earn commissions off of anyone. Now, that doesn't mean people are out to hurt you. It just
Right.
means that it's the internet marketing community, at least legendary, is like a large village.
Mhm.
And we're all kind of doing the best that we can to move our business forwards while not cannibalizing each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
We have to continue to teach people to go hunt out in the large, world, instead of hunting inside of our own community. But um, my point is that if you tried this, just to those of you who might be listening, and Ryan, I don't know, maybe you have experience with this too, but I tried something when I was 24. I was at a completely different place, 24, 25, something like that. I was at a completely different place in my life. Um, I actually even younger, one time. And then again when I was 24, 25. And I was just at a different place. And it just took little bit of time for me to mature. Have you tried I think also it had to do with business model and stuff like that. But I also think there's something to be said for age and experience and just giving yourself a second chance. Has this been different than things that you've tried before, and how so? Is it because of the business and the community, the education? Is it because of you? Is it because of both?
Um, as far as things that I had tried before, are we just referring to like past businesses or?
Right. Yeah. Have you ever done any? I don't
I have.
remember if I read up that you had tried other businesses, MLMs, affiliate marketing, drop shipping. I don't know. But what I'm asking is that I think there's a lot of people who are so jaded by their past, they think that it's just going to turn out the same. And that's why they don't go back after it. So you laugh.
Yes,
I think now the
absolutely.
question clicked and you're clear about what I'm asking.
Yes. So I've been in some MLMs in the past. I've been involved with 3 or 4. Like I said, I was always trying to carry some type of an extra job, outside of teaching. And have I been burned in the past? Yes. Pretty much, probably, I would say 75% of what I've been involved in the past turned out just never to really pan out to much of anything at all. And one of them ended up, being shut down as, a Ponzi scheme. And, so yeah, when you look at something like this, one of the first things I introduced this and start doing this, and, I'm using my profile on Facebook. So, I've got a lot of friends and family and past players and things like that on there. Well,
Right.
one of the guys that I used to coach with, he's like, he started looking at seeing some of my results a little bit, and he started messaging me about it, because he was involved in some of the MLM stuff as well. He said,
he's a business opportunity seeker, huh?
yeah,
Got
so
a you got a little whiff of a little opportunity, and he
he
said, "Hey,
did.
Ryan, drop
Yep,
me the deets in the DMs, huh?"
he sure did, and he's like, man, what's this all about? He's like, am I going to have to go hit up all my family and sell stuff to them again?
Right, like we're doing right now.
Right. And I was like, buddy, no, you don't have to do that. This is not this is not that style of business. This is different. And if you want to know about it, sure, I'll be more than happy to explain it to you. But you don't have to go hit up all your friends and your family to try to get sales.
Yeah.
I said, you can if you want, but you don't have to do that. That's not how this is built.
Yeah.
And,
It's actually such a great selling angle or hook to use in your content and to use in your TikToks or your conversations or even on your lives. Like I'm talking right now to you guys, and I'm sure you can relate to what we're saying because so many people have been through this to where they got involved in a business that was just unbearable, just miserable. And most of the time, it was because the business pushed you back to, kind of prey on your friends and family for support and pity sales. It was really, or you had the one cousin or buddy or uncle or whatever that was like your guy who was like, hell yeah, they, is crazy like you and was like, shit, yeah, let's get rich, signs up, then realize he has to go chase his friends and family and realized he owes half of them money and the other won't call him back. And, it never goes anywhere. The one guy you sponsor in your MLM. I remember I sponsored a guy in when an MLM that I did back after I got clean, like before I got into affiliate marketing. He bought the $99 pay, bought the lowest pay. I didn't even earn a commission on it, for God's sake. So one guy I sponsored, you know what I mean? So it was like the only package you didn't earn a commission on, and I'm like,
yeah.
I've been working on the guy for a month. He finally enrolls, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of work for not a lot of pay, and oftentimes a lot of gritting through it. The business is out here that you have to grit through it, especially if it's not your personality. Now, if it's your personality to be a social butterfly and fly around to your friends and family, and it's not going to make your relationships awkward to be pitching them lotions, potions, pills, sex toys, whatever else the latest and greatest fat wraps are out there, that are, being repackaged, repurposed, licensed, white labeled through these MLMs. The product's the last thing they worry about in an MLM. The comp plan's the first thing they try to dial in. But this is just different. So, I like that you're showing us that it's possible once again, and we see this, but TikTok's been really hot to be able to use Facebook. The training will give you a great foundation inside of the blueprints. How did you like, or was it useful to you to have all those multiple different traffic strategies within that blueprints training so you could go through and pick something that was a fit for you?
Oh, it was, that's what allows you when you have those types of trainings in there where you can go through and you can see everything. That's what allows you to really resonate with one of them or a couple of them when you think, okay, all right, that's what this is about. Here's how it needs to be done. All right, let's see what this is about. Let's see what it needs to do. And then you can go with one that you feel like is going to fit for you, or at least that's how I felt.
Yeah.
I know that people have to step out of their comfort zones and things like that. But I still felt like it was, to an extent, stepping out of my comfort zone, just because I've always been kind of a math science kind of guy and a sports guy. So writing was not always my strongest area, and of course, if you're going to do Facebook, you've got to be able to write. You're going to have to create content. You're going to have to, get in there and start talking to people in groups and, to be able to engage in conversations and things like that through written text. And so at least start the process that way. And so, to be able to look at all the different options is extremely helpful, because then you can choose a route that you want to go and then dive into that
Yeah.
and try to dive into it deep and really learn it. If you stay surface level on all those different things, you're going to struggle a little bit.
And see case studies. I mean, one of the things that I wanted to make sure I did when I created this latest version of the affiliate blueprint anyways was gave plenty of case studies. Gave plenty of case studies to show people that are using the strategy, or show people who may have come on a training or a wake up show or a mastermind or whatever, wherever they shared that knowledge, they were really crushing with that strategy. And then going back and putting those real life examples. I think one of the things that a lot of training leaves out in today's kind of information course, world that we're living in, is you don't see how it's applied. It's like, for me, when I learn about a word, you mentioned writing, I want to know how it's used in a sentence. Otherwise, it's hard for me to really get it, how the word fits in to real life use. And so I feel like that's a lot of the same thing that we see in courses and stuff nowadays. Is we see a lot of information, but you're not really sure how to make it work in real life. How do I actually apply these principles? And what we have here at Legendary is a multi-faceted approach to showing you examples, both in the blueprints and also daily on the show. I mean, daily on this show, people are getting a chance to be able to connect and watch and see other people who are using these strategies. And we don't have anybody in the blueprints who's still not active with the strategy, which is another, because we wouldn't do that. There's too many people who are having success with it. So I just wondered, from an educator's perspective, how you rated. And I could be setting myself up for a real bashing right now, and I'm okay with that. I'm open for feedback. But how would you rate our education and our process and system of delivering it, and then putting people into an environment to where there's lots of people that are using it, and just kind of the process around getting somebody like yourself from brand new to having success?
Well, I'm not going to give you an actual letter grade here, but
Damn it.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to touch on something that I mentioned earlier in our conversation, and that is when I had said earlier that I really didn't know what I had at the time. When I started, because the very first thing I ever did was the 15-day challenge and the blueprints. After I did my, I actually took probably a good 4 weeks of researching out the things and looking in YouTube or whatever. Well, at that time, though, I still was so new to all of this, and there was so much that was out there. I didn't even know at the time how strong Legendary was going to be for me. So I did what is probably one of the cardinal sins in the business, and that was I took the training, I had the blueprints, I was going through that stuff, and then I got shiny object syndrome. I was like, well, let's see what this is, or what this is, or what this is. And what I found was, after spinning my wheels for a long time and throwing money at things that I had no business throwing money at, I came back to what I had to begin with, and I went back to the strategies that I was learning. I hold Legendary in a very high regard, especially after experiencing a lot of other things that are out there. And that's my own fault, because I want to say I didn't know better, but that's really not an excuse. I should have done my due diligence a little bit better, and making sure that I knew what I was doing was quality. And I had quality to start with, and I got away from it a little bit and then came back to quality. And so, if I was going to have to give you a grade, I'm going to say that from a teacher's perspective, I'm definitely going to give Legendary an A, because I dealt with a lot of C's and D's out there.
Yeah.
And I had to come back, and my advice to anyone that's out there that, is in a similar situation, you're brand new, you don't know what's credible, what's not. It's hard to figure that out. And you know how the game works when you first start. You've got all kinds of people telling you, everybody's got an opinion, about things, but you got to stick with those things, I feel like, that have a proven path for success. And when you have that, why do you need other stuff? And I believe 100% that, coming back, going through trainings and going through them more than once, you have to come back. You got to go back, to basics and learn that stuff. And when you have a community, Legendary's got a huge community. And every time somebody asks a question in one of those groups, they're going to get multiple responses for answers. They're never left hanging. You've got a community that supports. And that is massively powerful in this business when you have a supporting community. I have the ability to come in and I can post a question and I'm going to get responses and opinions from different people because people see things from different angles. They're going to see things from angles that I'm not going to see. And I need that input in order to, travel the path that I want to go. And when you have people that are supporting you and that there's support there, then you have to take advantage of that because you're going to hit those roadblocks. You're going to hit those things that kind of knock that confidence level down a little bit. And that's when you rely on the support of those that support you in order to help you get through some of those times. And Legendary's got an amazing community to be able to do that because it's constantly, people are always very positive. They're constantly on there telling others, you can do this, just stay the course, just continue at it, keep going. You're on the right path, even if you don't feel like you are. And those are so important. That aspect of support is just not something that I think it would be very difficult to do without it. I've got a small group of friends that they weren't my friends previously, but now they are. And we've actually gotten, to be very good friends with our own little chat group. And we rely on each other daily with questions and support and things like that. And it makes all the difference in the world when you have that type of thing where you can rely on other people to give you the little kick in the pants you need from time to time.
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of components of why we have things set up the way that we have them set up. For instance, you just covered a lot of great stuff. But another thing is just simply investing in yourself. Making a small, to some it will feel big. Hopefully that won't always be the case. But to make an investment in yourself, to hold yourself accountable, to put skin in the game. And so you pay attention because your focus goes where your money goes. It just does. I mean, follow the money, that applies, I think, in multiple contexts, but follow the money. You will, if you go out and spend, I don't know, $50,000 on a brand new watch, you will take care of it, because that you have $50,000 in a boat. Same thing. At least we would hope you would. I would hope I would. So when we make an investment versus just cruising and surfing the web and surfing YouTube University and just that's not a commitment. That's the opposite of a commitment. That's no commitment. That's no accountability. Nobody knows that you're doing it. You're secretly surfing the internet. You're not doing anything for you. The only thing that you're doing is you're a visitor on somebody's website and they're using that as a statistic to show that they're having success because they got a lot of people on their website. I mean, that's all. And if you buy something, you're a profit center for another business. So when you realize that, God, I'm literally just pouring my time and energy and money into a device that I get nothing out of. When I don't, now I'm not saying there's something wrong with downtime, but when I do nothing except just surf the web, what a waste.
Absolutely.
And I can just put a percentage of that energy in And over time, that will build to become a snowball of return if I don't quit. And I don't know, I'm not a smart guy, you're the teacher, but it just, there's no better investment. There's no better thing that you could do right now, anyways, than shift a bit of that downtime, a bit of that Netflix time, a bit of that scroliosis that we all can get into so easy, that trance, and just carve a percentage or go. Some of you are like me, you're either all in or all out. There is no halfway. Well, then you get dramatic. You cut off Netflix for 90 days. I don't know. You start cutting things. Maybe you got to quit cold turkey. Maybe there is no halfway. Maybe there is no halfway using, TikTok or Instagram. And every time you go on TikTok, you just get sucked in. Okay, well, maybe you need to get a different strategy. I don't know. But the point is that entrepreneurship is about personal responsibility. It's not waiting for somebody to bring me a meal. It's about going and hunting enough to eat for a year, and then also being able to feed others if I choose, So I don't know, man. I love this conversation, and I love the fact that you are hopefully, and I do have faith that this is absolutely going to happen, going to earn what you deserve and have the freedom that you have earned after so many years of wonderful service as, a teacher in our society, and a coach. And well, I just hope that you, that you're able to get all of the blessings that you deserve, brother. And if there's anything that I can do to help you along the way above and beyond what we already have going on, let me know. Okay.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Man.
absolutely.
So wonderful. Please come back and see us. Keep us posted on your journey in a couple of months. And we'll be sure to send people this replay and send people to your Facebook to connect with you. Okay.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, Ryan. I'll talk to you later, brother.
All right. You take care.
See you. All right. You can find my man Ryan by, you could just search his name on Facebook, like you searched your ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend or ex-wife or husband when you were stalking them last week. We all know how to use the Facebook search bar, and you know what Ryan's face looks like. So you can find him, connect with him, and like his stuff, engage with us. You know what I mean? Like, that's what this is all about: lifting each other up, supporting each other, and growing with each other. Yeah, just like Ryan said, I'm so thankful that he's got a support group, but a group of friends. There's so much more you can get out of this besides just money. But you got to get started, or you got to start over today to start to experience those benefits. So be legendary. Get out of here. Make it a great Thursday. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. Peace.